All right, we'll quickly take a word from my colleague Paulami Saha as well. Paulami, like Rahul also was telling us, that it is the internal discussions that have led to a decision, because I know that there were some names about celebrities that were mentioned that on the ground may not have support. They did not make as much presence. Hema Malini's name had surfaced as well, but clearly at some point the BJP believes she has the winning factor and winnability for Mathura for her name to be announced. Paulami, if you can hear me.
Pooja,
yes.
Yes,
Paulami, so my question was that, while there have been a lot of discussions.
Hema Malini.
Yes, Hema Malini continued to defend, because I remember a few days ago when we had spoken to her, she said, I have been visiting. I don't do it for cameras, but I've been on the ground. But there's something that the BJP must have definitely felt to retain the names that they have done and those that they have announced afresh.
Absolutely. As far as the BJP is concerned, like I said, they have done their performance reviews on the ground as well. It was, in fact, it was speculated a lot at the time that Jain Chaudhary was speculated to join hands with the Bharatiya Janata Party, which he is, of course. But at that point of time, there was a lot of speculation that he would want to, get the Mathura seat from the BJP. He, in fact, had fought against Jain Chaudhary himself, was a candidate in the last Lok Sabha election against Hema Malini, had been to that constituency on polling day itself. Hema Malini, of course, remained very confident. We had spoken to those around her, part of her team as well, and they had confidently indicated, at least to me, that she's going to retain the seat. While there was a lot of speculation, given that she's a celebrity, does she go down to her constituency? Does she visit her constituency enough? Her age factor as well. Her, those around her continue to be extremely confident that she is going to win the Mathura seat.
Well, clearly, Paulami, she's been announced. Now it's, of course, a big responsibility on her shoulders. Stay on with me. Rajdeep Sardesai joining us now. Rajdeep, 195 names is a big number to announce, and so early. Which ones do you think you were surprised by? Which ones did you think, well, these names are definitely going to not be announced this time?
Pooja, I think the headline obviously comes to some extent from Delhi, where you've already got 4 new faces out of the 5 that have been announced, led by Sushma Swaraj's daughter Basuri Swaraj. So clearly the BJP looking at the possibility of a completely image makeover in Delhi. And remember, this comes at a time when the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress have tied up. So I think what the BJP has done in Delhi is interesting. It shows that the BJP is willing to make those changes if the opposition changes the rules of the game. So I think that, to my mind, stood out for me. The fact that they have retained maximum seats, sitting candidates in Uttar Pradesh, is also a sign of the times, to suggest that in the state which is critical to the BJP's fortunes, the BJP there doesn't want to experiment. I was just hearing Paulami speak about Hema Malini. The very fact that you've chosen to retain someone like Hema Malini, who has been an MP who has perhaps been seen as someone who hasn't spent enough time in her constituency, although she denies it. The very fact that they have chosen her and chosen to retain the core of the BJP in UP suggests there they don't want to experiment. I thought it was interesting that they brought in Shivraj Singh Chouhan to contest from Vidisha. There was a lot of speculation over Shivraj Singh Chouhan's political future, but I think that is settled, because if he wins, he could be a future agriculture minister in a Narendra Modi-led government if the Modi government comes back. So that's interesting. In Uttar Pradesh, again, remember Ajay Mishra Teni, under controversy because his son allegedly mowed down farmers, was jailed. Despite that, they've gone ahead with the MOS home. So so I think in Uttar Pradesh, winnability matters more than anything else, because that is the state that's going to really deliver.
You're right, Rajdeep. Sanjeev Balyan, Mahesh Sharma,
if they are to win
these are the names that have continued to, they have been mentioned as well. So has Rajnath Singh. Do you think Amethi could be interesting? Of course, Smriti Irani's name has been announced, but because she also challenged Rahul Gandhi this time, do you think this is something that could play out? Why do you think possibly that they have taken that chance in other states, specifically the southern states where they want to make inroads? Even in Delhi, not as much for Uttar Pradesh, where they clearly may have had more possibilities, Rajdeep.
Pooja, I think what the BJP has done, and Paulomi will also, I'm sure, have to add to this, is that they had these categories of seats, which were considered safe seats. Many of these seats are seats in the Hindi heartland. So those are the seats where they've stuck to the old guard. In seats where they finished second last time or third last time, or the margins were less, in southern India, for example, they've chosen to experiment because there they have perhaps less to lose. I think it's very interesting, though, on the other hand, that Delhi is the one state where I think the BJP has genuinely sensed an opportunity to effect a complete change in guard. Remember, it's not just Lok Sabha, there will be a Vidhan Sabha election in 8 months. In both 2015 and 2020, Arvind Kejriwal had bested the BJP there. So I think the BJP is looking at not just projecting a new face for the Lok Sabha, but I won't be surprised if they will project a completely new face for the Vidhan Sabha as well in Delhi. So I think barring Delhi, if you look across the Hindi heartland, the BJP by and large is sticking to the tried and trusted faces. Many of the new faces that they are giving are in states outside the Hindi heartland. Bhupendra Yadav is an interesting new addition to the Lok Sabha list. Someone who's been a backroom manager, has worked very closely with Amit Shah on several elections. I think also interesting is someone like Mansukh Mandavia, who's going to contest for the Lok Sabha this time from a relatively safe seat of Porbandar. I was a bit surprised that many more candidates from Gujarat were not announced, because if there is one state where the BJP is very confident of a sweep, it's Gujarat. Interestingly, for example, Pooja, they've stayed away from putting up candidates or announcing candidates in Maharashtra, because this is one state where they still need to settle their internal negotiations with the Shinde group and the NCP. And Maharashtra is going to become a very critical state in the 2024 Lok Sabha, because both sides have completely new alignments compared to 5 years ago. So I think what the BJP has done with this first list, they've shown that they want to make this early announcement to put the opposition on the defensive, capture the narrative in a way that the BJP has got a head start. And I think that they have sent out the message that in the Hindi heartland, they want to go ahead with the tried and trusted names. Among the few who've been dropped, I thought, which was interesting, was Sadhvi Pragya Thakur. You will recall that her statements on Godse had created a controversy from Bhopal, and the Prime Minister had responded by saying he was not happy about it, and there was a question over whether she would be retained. She hasn't been retained. So barring a few big ticket, you've had a couple who dropped out even before the list was announced today, Gautam Gambhir, Jayant Sinha, but many of the union ministers have been retained. So there is an element of continuity amidst change. That's how I would describe this list. Continuity primarily in the Hindi heartland, change and flexibility in states where the BJP is not so strong and the stakes are slightly less.